What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another series here. I've got the London system for you guys. This is an opening that's special to me. I think it's a big reason why I became a Grandmaster. I think I'm very good at the opening, and I've got some tips and tricks that I'm hoping to teach you guys along the way here as we start at 800 ELO and work our way up. I will only be able to include the games with the white pieces, of course, but I decided to run this series idea anyway, so if you see some jumps in rating, that's probably why. Enjoy the series. There we go. It's about time. The London. What line are we gonna get? Yep. If I see this, it's pretty much immediately C4. How's he gonna defend that? B6? B6 maybe check. Check. Aha. Well, let's put pressure on it. Maybe knight f3 to e5. This looks pretty bad. He's lending some support here with the bishop, but I'm gonna go e4. And I think you run out of real estate. If I take, then that gives my opponent time to castle. I do play rook d1 there, but it's pretty tempting to just go with d5. Simpler, I think. h3 or f3. Couple options here. Let's go for h3. So knight takes. He has to move the bishop. Any tricks for me there? I have d6. It all looks pretty good. I think we take with the knight. And even though the knight's not hanging right now, the bishop is hanging. Whoa. These moves are crazy. Wild. I mean, I guess we've just gotta take this thing, right? Take. Sucks the king gets castled, but such is life. Damn, abiotic. Still be somewhat nearby a little bit, eh? Somewhat. That's exciting. Take this. Funny thing about my position is, number one, that would be mate. Number two, this is actually protected, which feels a little funny. I'm not sure that he notices it. I want to set up some fun mates. Let's go here. Because I think that he might take this. And if he checks, we can move up the board and run away. I'm trying to get some mates here. I don't think we have mates anymore. We can win full queens, but maybe not mates. Yeah, knight c4. There's even queen b4. A rather resourceful move. Yeah, that is rather resourceful. Impressive. I like it. Check. Not the one I expected. Probably rook c7. Make things a little easier. Castle, of course. Get the pieces in. That's what we need. Look for better. Look for better. We look for better quite a few times. All right, bishop f4, and what's it gonna be? Ooh, I like this. A new move. Latin and Blonde, thank you for the quick Cinco. 5 gifted subs. I like this move. So John Bartholomew played this against me in a tournament game. We ended up drawing the game. But yeah, he played this against me, and I thought that it worked out pretty well in general. Because white doesn't really want to play f3. You know, it's a little bit annoying. I'm going to go c4. If you can ever get out of a pin, usually a good next move is to then move your knight and attack the piece that was pinning you. All right, we're gonna go all in with g4. An aggro move. Playing really frisky here. Now, takes looks great, believe me. But I'm looking for more than that. I'm looking to really say hello here. I'm looking to really push the envelope. G6 traps the bishop, by the way, on the G6. So I think he almost had to take that. King F2, rook there looks nice, but King F2 runs into knight e4 check. I'd have to at least calculate that. H6, extremely tempting because it undermines the knight, so I'm probably gonna go with H6. Especially if he takes, rook takes, gets right in there. Takes, king takes. Huh. Yeah, takes, king takes, and then like rook h6 looks pretty overwhelming. Knight g4. The thing about knight g4 is it allows knight d7, whereas rook h6, knight d7 will take it. Yeah, rook h7 looks like a move there, Archfaisal, but I don't think there's anything close. This move is too good. Yeah, bishop h6. Again, I think the real pressure comes from this pin. Once again, if you guys would play king f2, knight e4 would hit you like a truck. Or knight g4. Jack. Jack. Should be a mate unless he really sacks a lot of material here. See Proxmire. Why not king f2? Pawn takes pawn check. And then if my king goes here, I have to deal with this check. If my king takes, just lots of checks to deal with for no reason. And I can't bring my king here because it would block the rook. F4 should do the trick. GG to the Pippinho. Why not rook h8 mate? Wasn't good enough for me. It wasn't good enough for me. Head to mate with the lowest value material. And we get the white pieces again. Here come all the Londons. You had me in the first half of the 1600s, I'm not gonna lie. But now, early H3, now all the Londons are coming out. Okay. I am always a fan of a quick retreat, like H3, Bishop H2, just get it out of the way, get it done with. That's it. Bishop never goes to D3, it goes to E2. I'm delaying my C-pawn because I think he might go here, and I wouldn't necessarily want the spawn here. I might want it on C4. Yo, Canty, big fella. Thank you for the raid, GM Canty. 261 big fellas. I don't think we've chatted since your match, Canty. That was an unfortunate finish. I was watching that one. The I Am Not a GM final against Eric Rosen recently. Sadly, Buddy Canty couldn't get it done. But man, that match was sloppy. You had some chances. Eric Rosen was not playing his best Eric Rosen chess. And to be fair, you weren't playing the best GM Canty chess I've seen either. Y'all were out there hanging queens, I'm not gonna lie. Mutual blindness. But those kind of topsy-turvy matches means you always have chances, so unfortunate. Bring a rook over, maybe rook c1, bishop d3 if he takes, or if he goes to f5. Oh, that's exciting, man. That's exciting. I think people were counting you out before the finals, Canty, so you definitely proved a lot of haters wrong. Thanks for the raid, though. We're doing a little series here, going over the London system. Started at 800 elo. We're pushing 1700 right now. So that's where we are. Let's activate this piece. Everybody seems to be doing something here. So it's probably time for, like, you know, b4 c5. I think now we simply need to strike somewhere because all our pieces are placed perfectly. c5 hurts. Probably c5 next. I think it basically has to be. My opponent might play knight c6. There's no happy birthday. I think people just type it randomly. I guess I can go disable it. Eric's birthday was in July. C5, queen takes here. It's to my advantage for it to be one of our birthdays at all times, but no, even I can't run that scam. Not even I can run that scam. I think c5 is strong. I'm waiting for him to develop this bishop, though. Kind of wondering why he hasn't. Yeah, Eric and I were both at Gommel. It was a good time. So, if c5 and we take with the pawn, queen a5. That doesn't look like anything. Even this doesn't look like much, if I'm honest. Because everybody takes, there's knight c6. Knight c6 looks pretty good. This move is probably not that good. So bishop takes e5. Bishop takes, so that wins material. Rook takes e5 wins 2 pieces, and also bishop takes and bishop takes should win pieces as well. Now the other tricky line was bishop takes, rook takes, pawn takes, knight f3, hitting this bishop and this bishop. And then there's bishop a4, which looks to be surviving. So it's probably better to just take those 2 pieces up front. Like this. I'm gonna do it this way so that I can actually put my bishop on h6 potentially. The other nice move is like rook c3 is very expected, and then knight e6 looks like it could be a very good one. Knight e6 or knight f5. And yeah, bishop h6 as the, you know, fallback plan. I'll just go here. We get the 2 bishops here, which is nice. I think so, check win. I think he would be kind of hard to find. What the heck is that? When it rains, it pours. E6, bishop f7, and mate. Yeah, I mean, it looks like unstoppable mate now after that blunder. But two bishops is gonna always crush a rook. That's the thing. Not a crazy game, but the opening is probably all that really matters. Maybe I even played c4 a little too prematurely, castling. I wanted to wait until he was gonna... I was so sure after rook here, knight here, he was gonna do that. So I went with c4, but really, I don't want c5 happening when I play c4. If c5 happens, I want to play c3. So I probably should have castled, and if he did this, I would do that. If he did this, then I would do that. So against e5, I want c4. Against c5, I want c3. In general. Here, c3 is still fine, but sometimes I feel like I just don't have enough play or things to do on this side of the board, so I like the pawn here. It feels a little more aggressive, so I don't get run over. This just feels like, what's my play here? In a normal position with pawn on d5, I would try to put my knight there, maybe play f4, but here I have no play in the center and no play on the king side. If I leave my pawns like this, and I'm not moving any of them, what am I going to do? Push these two pawns? I could, but that seems slow. So I like to have my pawn on c4, so I go knight c3, and then there's a little more tension in the center. You can build towards better things. But against c5, then I can do this because I'm not dead in the center here. I can play for e4, e5. But when they play e5, like, I need something to do, so I usually prefer my pawn on c4. Okay. Yes, we always invite the double pawns here. This move I've met a few times. Bishop e5 has been one of my reactions. I like this one because f6 looks really natural. And then after bishop takes, you win the knight. And if they take, then you take back and you're hitting that knight. So there's a few good reasons why I play bishop e5 there. Do we want to kick this knight back? Trying to decide. Maybe not. Question mark. f6, knight takes g6. And here, I think we want to... Yeah, we do want to take this way. And f6 will take on g6. I don't think I really thought he would do that. It kind of looks like a strong move, but I think it might actually turn out to not be a good move. I have this feeling that move might be worse than it looks. It looks like it really should be good, but let's see here, because he's going to lose a lot of time moving the queen and knight, etc. all around. c3, definitely want to play. Bishop e5 looks tempting. g4 is available. I think let's just keep it nice and sturdy here. If I go g4, he's got c4. I think that favors me. The reason that I want to include this is so that I can take back that way. However, I think I'm gonna keep it simple and go c3. It just sucks. Normally you want to take the pawn this way, but at the moment I would be dropping the f4 pawn, so no can do. Now, if takes, I'll definitely be taking with the pawn. Wondering if my opponent's gonna castle. g4 knight there, knight trying to get into e4 makes sense. I think I almost want to go g4, g5. I'm trying to play on the dark squares this game. Light square bishop, dark square pawns. There's no knight takes g6 here, so it's not a bad move. What I will do though is I'm going to take the g4 and I'm going to play g5 right away. And I think this will secure me that square. Because of the way the pawns are, either I take you, you take me, or you push. I'm okay with all three of those because all of them take this pawn away from that square. So I think this should give me the e5 square for my knight, which is all I've ever wanted. If I go there now, maybe g5 happens. Trying to decide if that's annoying or not. G5 takes, knight f7, queen h5, so I have to be a little careful. I think this is going to be a good knight versus bad bishop kind of scenario. So yeah, we'll take, just like we said, we don't mind any three of the options. I take you take me, or you play f5. All of them end up with my knight on e5, so good position. I was counting on him playing this. I think I am going to take it. And although this move is tempting, it's queen h5, queen takes h2, and can't really tell if that position is good or not. I think it is. So rook here, queen h5 here, queen h2 here. He looks pretty much forced to take me. Takes, the knight's being attacked, and knight f7 is being threatened. And if he goes rook here, knight f7 traps the rook. If he goes rook here, knight f7, rook f8, knight h6. I'm hitting the knight. The rook's being hit by my knight. I have to deal with rook f2 check. King c1. It looks a little suspicious, honestly. So I'm gonna have to deal with rook f1 at the end. But maybe better than king c1 is king e1. But then rook takes bishop. Knight takes rook. Knight f5. That doesn't look fun. Screw that. My king's cut off on e1. No, my king's on, not on d2 in that line. My king's on e2. So it's all good. And then if he doesn't have this, then we're all good. Then we're all good. Yeah, knight f7 right now, there's this move, but I kind of forgot that after this take and trade, my king goes back to e2, not on d2, and then none of these checks that bother me exist. So what's gonna happen is knight f7, or if he stops knight f7, well, I'm wondering how. The knight's hanging, knight f7's hanging. This traps the rook. This, there's knight here. This rook has to move, and then knight here. That rook has to move, but it can't move without losing the knight. And my king is here and not here. In my head, it was here, and I was concerned about rook f2 check. But with the king on e2, it's no problem. Etienne, thanks for the 44 months. Might see you soon there, buddy. Etienne, coming to your neck of the woods, eh? Exclamation mark upcoming. Yeah, and here we'll actually just get the full rook as well. So we won the most material possible. I like that move. Noise. Here we go. GG. I had to put in a calculation shift there. Okay, we've seen this before. Bishop f5, c4. People do like to bring their bishop out and then play e6, but as a result, after queen b6 here, c5, they get into these really bad positions. The higher in rating you go, the more people are accustomed to playing queen c8, so maybe we finally gotten there. The queen c8 is a move that does not feel good to play. Most people play this. Takes. Bishop takes. Otherwise, that would be interesting. h3. If the knight moves somewhere, then this pawn is a bit loose. Castle. Space slim thanks to the 100 bits. So this is the absolute, well-known theory move to play. So my opponent definitely knows what's going on here. But c5, I would say, right there is sometimes playable. I like c5 there better if I castled than maybe c5. But c5 is an idea. The thing is, after you play c5, you probably have to move your queen because you need to be playing like b4 and a3. If he goes a5 or something, b6, like, you need to be able to support that. For now, there's no tricks here that I can see. A4 looks like a move I'll probably play next. A4, A5. Try to dislodge the knight a little bit. He's gonna have to take this at some point. Keeping the pressure here. Let's move our bishop back. I don't want to take. That just helps him strengthen the center for no reason. And that is not a move you want to play, technically. So, a small victory for me. Very small victory. I'm wondering if I take, go bishop a6. Can he actually defend this pawn if I go queen c3 next? Because I'm kind of covering a lot of squares with my bishops. Wonder what happens if I do that. If you ask the question out loud, you don't know the answer, maybe play it, find out. This way, just no. No. That way, just no. Don't believe this is gonna work. my dear friend. Bishop c6 was also an idea. So queen c8, bishop c6 wins the rook. I'm probably gonna go here just to start. Curious what move he does. He makes a good move. He goes back. If he went here, he would lose. So now I'll repeat. You know, after rook here, this move is very likely. Very likely. Bishop c7, queen here. Queen or bishop takes there. Queen b7. I don't really think leads to anything. Nothing too good, at least. So that's why I think the way to win material here is here. Bishop c6, trapping the rook. Queen takes c7, bishop takes a8, and then bring the bishop back to c6. I think that's the way to do it. To play the absolute best move. Yeah, bishop c6 now, rook c8. And he gets some trades in, which I don't really love. So we'll go here, and then bishop c6. Takes, and we can take because we're attacking the queen. And I actually think this bishop just wants to go b5 and d3. Trade off for that guy. Nice and simple. Bishop d3. Not trying to complicate things. Check. Just sidestep. Yeah, now we just double the rooks on the C file. Queen to one of these squares, rook, and then rook c8. Rook c1. I'm attacking this pawn, so like f5 is like tempting. You know, let's just take it. Check, we go here, and you've got nothing better than to just go back. Get down there, rook c8. And again, these checks never do anything, so pretty comfortable position despite this queen sort of being all up in my space here. Takes here. Maybe annoying. I don't think so, actually. We get rook d7. King hides nicely on f3. Here, 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 and queen b7. And if I get to play rook takes f7, the game's just over, so.
I want you to open your mind to new possibilities. to new emotions, new experiences. I want you to forget all the emotions before this moment. The happy emotions.
Man, GG. This guy played really well. Like, he was really tricky. I had to find... I mean, I was generally under control, but I had to find some moves. Like, I'm impressed how tricky he made it from how lost this looked and how simple my plan was of trading the bishops. But yeah, he got his queen in there, and then he had this tricky idea here, king h7. That's cool. I mean, I have better moves to make, like king e2, queen b7, but still. I calculated this, and I saw that it worked. But still, you know, he kind of gets you calculating there. Bishop c6 was available earlier than played. Well, that's because we were going back and forth, right? The only time bishop c6 was available, first of all, here it's no good. I could play here instead of going here, but it's certainly plus EV to go bishop here, because if my opponent decides to go anywhere except that square, like let's say here, then rook c7 will be even more winning. So I'd rather repeat the position once and let them have the opportunity to make a blunder. And then if they don't, it's like, okay, then I just go back and do my bishop c6. So, always worth it. Thank you for making it to the end of today's episode of the London System series. If you enjoyed it, leave a comment below and like the video. And don't forget to subscribe right there and turn post notifications on so you never miss the next video. Speaking of next video, if you want more of the London System series, click right there.